Patricia is the CEO of Plus Network, sportscaster, and a TV host. Vince is a former PBA player, former commissioner of Phil Sports Basketball Association, and a motivational speaker. Patricia and Vince Hizon are hosts, empowered parents, and a power couple. Whether they are on the go or spending time with their family, they give everything, they do their all, and that is what makes them the dynamic duo that they are today.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of In Love With Me, where we feature inspiring individuals who share their amazing stories. I am your host, Mafae Velasco, and for this series, our topic is Dynamic Duo. They say two heads are better than one. Simply, that is the purpose of our newest segment, in which we will meet beautiful couples who thrive in their respective fields, but also together. For our guest today, I have known these two for a very long time. Individually, they have been such an amazing, inspiring people. But another thing I've been admiring is their love for each other all these years, and their beautiful, growing family too. I truly believe that they are movers and shakers who need to be shared to the world. And so let's start with the beautiful Patricia is an empowered mom, TV host, sportscaster, just the first female amazing sports analyst host that I admire and I look up to. While Vince is an empowered dad, former PBA legend, former commissioner of Phil Sports Basketball Association, and currently a motivational speaker. So together they make a great pair, and that is why we call them a dynamic duo. So without further ado, let's welcome Patricia and Vince Hizon. Hi.
Hey.
Hi guys. Oh my gosh, I miss you so much. Offline, we were talking about how we were just neighbors. It seemed like only yesterday, but now all of a sudden our kids are like taller than us. Do you remember that? But before I know a lot of people out there have watched your love bloom, but there are, of course, a lot of people also wanting to know the beginning. Before I ask you what you guys have been up to, especially this past year or so, let's talk about the start of this beautiful relationship. So maybe we can talk about individually. Before you guys met each other, what was your backgrounds? What was your dreams and goals for yourselves?
Yours is more interesting.
Yours?
Oh, well, before I met Vince, I grew up in Canada. I moved here to the Philippines. I ended up studying here, finding my way to hosting events, to television. I was actually in People's Television Network, believe it or not. I was PTV, and I ended up doing my first ever sports casting stint in the 2000 Olympic Games, and that's in Sydney. I thought I'd mention that, Mafae, of course, where love will always be there.
Gosh, that's so crazy. I was there. I was a bartender at the main hotel in the Olympic Park. Anyways, yes, keep going.
I have to say that Sydney, because I've been to many Olympic Games, but Sydney has to be one of the best because of the people, because of just the energy. And of course, the city itself is so beautiful. But anyway, so I was a sportscaster prior to that, and I didn't really get to meet Vince until we were introduced. So Vince actually was introduced to me through a friend at a wine bar that had a reggae band, because I love reggae. I went there with some friends, and because the people in the band were his friends from college, so we met there. But when we exchanged calling cards, because we were introduced, I gave him the card for my foundation, the Today's Your Birthday Foundation. He gave his card for the Vince Hizon Foundation. And immediately we fell in love. I'm just kidding. That's not true. We immediately hit it off, and we wanted to actually do projects together. And we did it before getting together. You know what I mean? We did a lot of projects together, including I guess we did a campaign. We were asked to do separately. We were asked to do a campaign for an eyewear brand, and we did photo shoots for that, and that's how we met. prior to that, I felt that I was on track to just continuing to be a sportscaster, growing in that craft, and finding out more about myself and really planting myself here in the Philippines.
Okay, I can't outdo that. I'm not even gonna try. But anyways, hi, Vince. Let's see. I'm a Filipino American. My mom is from Illinois, or you could say Illinois if you're French. My dad is from Davao, so I'm really a fan. Came to the Philippines on a athletic scholarship to go to the Ateneo, and after that, I just basically joined the PBL, which is now the D League, and really didn't know what was going to happen. So finally, I ended up putting my name into the draft list for the PBA 1994 draft, and lo and behold, I was drafted in the first round. So things were, I guess you could say, difficult in the first year just because I was a rookie playing on a superstar team. I had Alvin Patrimonio and Jerry Cordero, the legends, amazing guys, super amazing, still good friends. And the focus was really on them, not on the little rookie. So, anyways, finally, the following year, I was traded to Nebra, and for me, that's where things really started to take off. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
4 months ago. So, anyways, that's where a lot of amazing things happened for me. I played under the living legend, Coach Robert Jaworski, and he gave me so much confidence, and that's where I flourished. And a lot of great things happened because of that. I started to get so many endorsements. I had a couple TV shows going on. I had all kinds of stuff happening, and it's been an amazing road. How we actually met was I had gone to this wine bar looking for love in all the wrong. No, just kidding. No, just kidding. No, it's just one of those things.
Each time.
Yeah, actually, I was running. She kept chasing me down.
Oh, please don't go there.
Just kidding, just kidding. Now, we were introduced by a power dog, like you said. We always say that the foundation of our foundation is foundation. Because we both had our foundations. And, we just started to, talk and finish each other's sentences. Oh, babe, yeah. It was a little cheesy, but
Yeah.
really good. And not so long later, I just decided to, I guess you would say, pop the question, and I said,
Yeah.
let's let's do it because I don't like cheese mints. Like so we did it. Made a little history. First time in PBA history, in RNet, the Coliseum history. I introduced myself as her upcoming fiance and the half court of a basketball game. So,
Yeah. The guts of this guy. There it is.
Yes.
And you know what? It's so funny. For our pre-Valentine's date last weekend, I wore that shirt. So yes, shirt.
I still have that shirt.
And that's what I love about you, Patricia, because you're just so outgoing and we're so alike. Like, I would always tell Nick, like, I'm very simple. I just want to have fun and be loved and just enjoy memories or build memories. And I know that's how we kind of relate because we just always, like, whenever I see you, so we just, we pick up where we left off with the conversation. And just for you to tell me that you wore that shirt that like long time ago, I'm exactly the same. Actually, I'm trying to pass my clothes to my daughter, and she's not there yet. So that's another conversation. But speaking of that engagement, I remember the marketing manager of the PBA messaging me because normally I would watch, right? Would message me and say, Mafae, you can't miss this. Watch the TV right now. And when I saw that happen, I was like, wow, what a princess. Look at this. It was amazing, guys. And that's something that I wrote in my caption promoting this show today, that was the most romantic and beautiful, thought out engagement because that court meant a lot to both of you, right? Of course, that's where you won all your championships and memorable games that you experienced, Vince. And for Patricia, she is like such an amazing sports analyst, host, and that was her career too. And for you guys to make it so memorable, how fun to finally let, of course, your little girl see that and just, Araneta Coliseum will always be such a special place for both of you.
It will be. And you know what I like the most about it too, apart from the experience and the love, the preparation, and the shock value and everything. I love that to this day, people will always say, I remember that. I was there. It's so fresh in my memories, it's so vivid. And what I love is when they tell me how they felt. Not just what they saw, but how they felt watching that. And I remember, I don't know if you remember Tita Tom from Alaska.
Yeah.
So Tita Tom was saying, he was one of my favorites. He keeps saying, him and his wife were watching that and they cried as they were watching it on TV. And for me, that's a special moment because to this day, I feel that it really helped people bond and somehow relate. So that's just on the side. I just wanted to share that because that's so special that we got to share it with so many people and affect them in that level.
Where were you?
But I want to know, how did you want to feel before it happened? Like Vince, how did you feel?
How did I feel?
Everyone always asking how I feel. How did you feel?
A little nervous because if she would have said no, I'd probably be living in Bangladesh right now or in the Arctic snow. No.
There's no golf there, you know.
So yeah, it was pretty, a lot of preparation, I guess you could say, because I had to go through my team, I had to go through the TV network, I had to go through the league, I had to go through the venue, get all the okays and the permissions. And I just have to give a huge shout out to the one who really helped me. So it's a Ponte, right? Greg Fritz, he made mountains move and really, I guess you could say, scripted it. Like, for example, when she did her report that day, not like any other day, they had her facing the other direction, so she couldn't see me walking in behind her. She has to face the camera. So she's facing this direction. I'm coming from right behind her with the microphone attached to the Coliseum speaker. So, all of those things put together, it was pretty cool. And I'm just glad that she said yes and didn't run away.
How long did it take you? How long did it take you? Ask him a question. How long did it take you to plan it?
Oh, at least 2 minutes. No, it feels like 2 months, 2.5 months.
Wow, amazing. To think that we had just been going on for 9 months, Mafae. 9 months.
Oh my God.
Like officially together, 9 months.
Good job.
Crazy, right?
So looking back, Patricia, seeing that photo, how did you feel? What was your instant? Did you feel like it was a joke? Was it like, oh my gosh, am I on like candid camera or something? How did you feel?
Yeah, of course, the professional that I am, I tried my best. Still continue with the report, but as I was in the report and I hear his voice, I hear something, and I'm still talking, doing the report, and I hear something, and I see him, and I had to stop mid-sentence and drop the microphone, literal mic drop, okay? I think before the mic drop term became cool, I literally dropped my mic and started bawling. Honestly, how I felt, I really wanted to throw up. It was just and I
So romantic, right?
so romantic, right? Kissed, right? It would have been one of those. I really wanted to throw up. I was crying. I really didn't know what was happening. People like Paulo Trillo, TJ Manotta, all these people also on the floor. All people who weren't even assigned to work that day were there that day. They were all in on it. And you hear Seb Sarmenta talking in the Coliseum, asking the people, what should she say? I know dapat sagot niya, and then everyone started screaming. So it was like it's as if I was not really real until they were starting to be in the middle, and I'm like, no, don't be there. And then knelt down after asking me a couple of times. So it was surreal. It was very sweet. It was very sweet.
Yeah.
Good job,
Glad
commentary.
you that was live TV.
You have set the bar high for your daughter's future partner, by the way. She's gonna be like, you have to do what my dad did. If you don't do that, I'm not saying yes. But anywho, okay. So with that beautiful beginning, I know that you had passions together. Of course, you had passions before you met and it fulfilled your dreams and goals in your career. But can you tell us about some of the things that you love to do together?
Are there children? Okay. Passion.
That's covered too. Okay, not that. Not that.
So, well, one of our first dates was we just went to a field in the afternoon and we started throwing American football around. We just like to be active. That was part of it. Maybe that was part of it. Showing her athletic side. Anyways,
But I was.
yeah. So we do a lot of stuff. Like up to now, like we went for a long walk last night. We do Vikings. We're pretty active.
We play golf.
We try to play golf. So
We
yeah.
try some vacation golf.
And when she's not hitting me with golf balls, she's actually
That
pretty
was
good.
only once. Okay, I just want to make that clear. I only did it by accident once, and it was that was when I was starting. But I'm much better now.
Still hurts.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of things. Vince and I really love to travel, and work
Yeah.
actually because of the nature of my work, it really got me to a lot of places. And one of the things that Vince did for me that was really sweet, even prior to proposing to me, was when I was covering the 2002 Busan Asian Games. Nick was there, right? So
Yeah.
Busan Asian Games. So I was
You said
covering, so we're covering the Asian Games. He actually surprised me, and he had a couple of days off, and he showed up in Busan, Korea.
Just around the corner.
Yeah, just around the corner. It's a quick plane ride, right? And all of a sudden, he was there to give support. And cheese, okay, get ready for the cheese. Here it comes. That was the first time that he professed his love for me. There's the cheese. But he did,
sorry.
right? Guys are crazy, right, Mafae? I'm sure you have your stories too. I took the microphone
Yeah.
pointed at you. Also had some weird stuff.
I think that was right after she brought me some Korean barbecue on the beach, so I love.
But that's what I love about the two of you. You love to surprise each other. Because I do remember that story you shared with me, Patricia, when you first told Vince you were pregnant with your eldest son, remember? Maybe you want to share that because that's a beautiful story too.
Actually, he's going to complain because for each and every single
He keeps
pregnancy,
doing it.
I tend to surprise him. So the first time was when we moved to Pennsylvania. So that was 2004, months after we got married. Got signed up for the Pennsylvania Valley Dogs and was the first Filipino professional in the U.S. for the USBL. So we had to move to Allentown, of all places. And once we got checked into our home, our new home in Allentown, I propped up the camera and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna make a video for my sister. Sit down here and let's meet my sister." And while the camera was rolling, he was like, "Yeah, hi, Ate. We're here in Allentown." Blah blah blah. I said, "Yes, and guess what? I'm pregnant." He's like, "What?" So that was a surprise. The second one was similar. All was similar. I'll share with you quickly the third one with Patrice. We had a third pregnancy, but that ended in miscarriage. But with Patrice,
She also surprised me with that too.
yeah, that was also a surprise. With Patrice, though, so everything is caught on camera, by the way. So that it's not just a surprise; it's documented. For Patrice, it was Mother's Day, 2018. No, 2019. Yeah, 2018 Mother's Day. And I had found out that day that I was pregnant. And we went because I had to be at the Araneta again. You have to be at Araneta for work on Sunday. And then after that, I invited him to go to that Italian restaurant about Expo. Really, really Italian restaurant.
With the Italian guy running
The real
his own
Italian
business.
guy was so good. I missed that place. So we went there, and I got the waiter to give him a box that came from me. While he was away, I said, "Give him the box. I'll give you a signal." So it was a jewelry box, and inside was the pregnancy test that was positive. So they were singing and everything, because that's how the vibe was. Gave him the tray, and he's like, "Is this for me?" Like, should it be for her because it's Mother's Day? So
I thought it was from the restaurant giving away his stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
When he opened it, it was like, the pregnancy test, and it was positive. And I was like, "Are you sure?" Are you sure? He was shocked. He was shocked, but he managed to eat his food.
Yes, after holding it was really a really nice experience, and I'm glad that we found that way. But for me, the best part about that particular pregnancy as well was the gender reveal.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
we had a cool one.
that,
So it was some fun doing stuff. Plus, we weren't. I guess you could say we didn't find the Lord when we were married, but we found Him since then, and that's probably the reason why we're still together. But we do have a lot of
Battle scars.
battle scars, but we have a lot of friends as well in our discipleship group or our Bible study. So that also keeps us very grounded. We have a lot of people we can talk to. Air our concerns, sometimes our fears or worries, and those types of things as well. And I really believe almost everybody should have a small group or a group that they can talk to. A lot of times they don't have. So I just, whoever's watching, I encourage you find a small group to get into so you can really talk about the things day-to-day issues that you can't really talk to anybody else about. You can talk about it.
I agree. I actually watched your live with your small group that you guys had one like recently with Edric and and other couples. That was really nice. I mean, it's something that, of course, I believe the strong tool for a couple is faith, and for you both growing in your faith and just seeing your love bloom. That's what makes me super inspired by you guys, because I'm all about that. And speaking of, finding the balance, of course, faith and your love for each other, and now you have your kids and your new baby girl. How do you find the balance in doing it all? Because even when you had your children, you guys were still game changers. You were still doing things that are so powerful. Like even with Vince, like with the lead that you had. Patricia being head of a big production company. So yeah, please share your secrets.
She does all the hard, heavy lifting, and I just support her. That's basically how it works. Kind of true.
No, but that's not entirely true. But the support for each other is, and I think that's always the secret in finding balance to everything.
Yeah.
All couples, all of us, Mafae, you included, we all go through different seasons. There's a season where the heavier lifting is on you. The weight is on your shoulders a lot more than your spouse. And there will be seasons where it's just so heavy a burden for your husband. So the key to all of that, to find balance, is really support. It's not even really about balance, but it's really about lifting each other up and propping each other up. So for us, that's how we find the balance. There's always going to be someone who requires more time. There's always going to be someone who will require more attention, or who requires the other person to kind of catch them a little bit more or support them a little bit more. And I think that's really how you find the secret sauce to everything. It's being able to appreciate what the other person is doing, respect it, support it, and not just cheer them along, but really be there. It's not even just being there physically, it's a mental support, spiritual support of that. So there are things that you've mentioned that we've done that are just amazing. But honestly, we were able to do it all because of the Lord, but at the same time, the Lord put us as helpmates to each other, me as his helpmate. So, that's really where I draw my strength. It's just like when I play golf. I'll go back to that. When I play golf, for me, it's such a daunting task because I don't often play golf. But when I'm out there, I don't like playing when Vince is not around, because Vince gives me he is the most annoying, but he also gives me that confidence, right? When I'm it's weird. It's weird. Like he tells me things when I'm about to hit. I'll say, "Don't tell me that." But then if he's not around, I can't. I can't function well. So it's that. I definitely have to do that.
Mhm. How about you, Vince?
I just love to support her in her golf, and I gotta tell you, long story. One time, she's like, "What am I doing wrong?" I'm like, "Don't you relax, don't you relax." She's like, "Don't tell me to relax."
Yeah, see, we have a lot of fun. But hopefully finding the balance.
Yeah, it's actually pretty, I guess you could say easier for me because I can't do what you girls do, like feeding and stuff like that. So, having baby, oh,
That's really the challenge. Kids being able to breastfeed, working home, homeschool the boys, and do all the things. It's tough, but
yeah.
with Vince around, it really,
A lot of people say that it should be easier now that we don't have to go to the office. We're not stuck in
Yeah.
not always on the go, getting
Yeah.
home late, leaving early. But maybe it sounded like a good idea to do all these meetings by Zoom or WebEx or all these things. But actually, what we're finding out is it's actually a little more taxing because you can go all day and just sit there in front of one computer. It's just like a little scary. So
yeah, I
what,
have
what we're really trying to do is again try to promote that active lifestyle and healthy balanced life. So we gotta get out. So we always try to
I
at
like
least
that.
do something
Yeah.
early as we can, even if it's just a walk around the block or just walk the dogs or walk the baby or ride the bikes, something just to get our blood pumping because it's not a good thing just to sit in front of a TV screen. It's also not good for your eyes, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to say that.
So finding the balance is supporting each other and then keeping each other active and accountable to all these things. Keeping each other in check. I like that Vince mentioned. Sometimes we just go overboard with all these meetings online, but Vince is always there for me to remind me, hey, it's gone too long. You need to peel away from that. You need to walk away. So
Oops, the
we
internet
really,
got cut. How did that happen?
but we try to keep each other accountable and in check. And I think that's also a secret. We have the license to respectfully, not always, but respectfully keep each other. I submit to Vince, and it's something that
Yeah.
was so hard to do. But that is also one way that we keep a balance to everything. It's not balanced when there are two leaders, when there are two
Yeah.
heads in a family. So there's actually a balance when someone takes the lead and someone's there to support. So I'm happy to have that in our home, in this household. So,
I know. I try to share that with other women also, and it is a tough, I guess something to do, right? It's years and years of I guess experience, like you said. It's battle scars, it's challenges, a roller coaster ride. But once all women out there, like wives, if you do allow your man to be your man, at the end of the day, you will have that respect for each other. And like Patricia was sharing, it's going to be a balance. I mean, yes, as much as we want to wear the pants, at the end of the day, we cannot. We have to allow them to be the leader of the family. And then with that feeling, right, Vince, then you feel comfortable enough to ask us, hey, what do you think? Right? I mean, this is
Going back to the mission, again, we're trying to make our, I guess, our marriage in the mold of doing it biblically. I mean, it's God's design. That's a man and
Yeah.
a woman. But as far as the submission goes, not an easy topic for my wife. When we first brought it up, I mean, 'cause she's like a powerful Canadian, right? Great White North,
you have
right?
a powerful Australian there.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, you know what I mean. This the whole women's empowerment, which is great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But when it comes to a relationship, like my wife said, you can't have two CEOs. You can't have two kings in the castle because you're just going to always have a power struggle. So there has to be somebody's got to give, and it's I guess you could say it's God's design that it's the man who leads and the woman who submits. But again, she's not submitting to every whim and whimper of the man, because she is accountable to the husband, but the husband is accountable for not just her, but all of the kids and the entire family to God. So we're supposed to present, like, dear God, this is my family. I present them clean and unblemished. That's a big challenge. That's a very big challenge as well.
Yeah. So understanding your roles really is part of finding the balance to everything. Um, Otherwise, if there was always friction in family because of that, I don't think I'll be able to manage my work. I don't think I'll be able to pursue passion projects like you, Mafae. I don't think I'll be able to breastfeed because I'd be probably anxious about everything and I wouldn't be a happy mom if there was a power struggle or a problem with the structure in the family. So to be able to do all that and find a balance to everything, you gotta go to the foundation of it all, and that's go to the relationship. How is your relationship with your husband? How how can that be a good foundation for you to enable you to empower you to do all this? And I'm just so blessed because we have a lot of faults, we have a lot of issues that we deal with all the time, but generally, I have to say, I'm really blessed with this because he's very mature spiritually, and he's very mature in every way in that sense that sometimes it's easy for me to take off that CEO hat when I'm at home, but when I keep it on, he keeps me in check. You know what I mean? It's not like liberate me because sometimes I do that, right? It's so hard to turn off that boss mode when you're working the whole day and then you look at your husband and you kind of want to bark orders at him. And sometimes I slip. I have to admit, sometimes I slip, and we've talked to our mentors about that. We've talked to some friends about that, and I'm a work in progress.
Yes, we all are. We all are.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you both share that because I know, like I said again, guys, this is years of experience, years of, getting to know each other. And I know right now, especially right now, guys, there's a lot of couples or even just relationships in general that are having a challenging time because they feel like they're restricted. Normally we're on the go, right? We have our own space. But right now, a lot of people are having a hard time just being stuck in a room with their partner. So what would be your advice? And it'd probably be an advice to your younger self or your younger couple days. What would be your, words of wisdom to them on knowing that they're at the right place at the right time with the right people, but they have to not forget what?
I'll go ahead. Well, for me, it's very simple. That's a great question. A lot of people have their priorities mixed up. It happens. We call it the hand principle. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but basically, you have 4 fingers and a thumb, and what these represent are your different priorities in your life. There's a lot of people they'll prioritize first their work, and then second their kids, and then third work, right?
Back to work.
Sorry, back to work. Then their spouse or their better half. And then so many other things. And the last thing they'll prioritize is like God or their faith. But what we're saying is, if you have God as your number one, wife as your number two, your kids as number three, your work as fourth, first, and your other friends and all these other things, your life will be very good. There's not going to be a lot of problems. But the problems we do have, a lot of us, and I was also very guilty of this. As soon as problems happen, flip it upside down.
Yeah.
Or to our friends, hey, what do you think? Oh, your wife was just like this or like that. Hey, your husband's like this. You know what I mean? Just work. Just don't think about it. Just go to work. So you tend to put all these things last. So what I always say is, it's by design, and it's worked out really well. That she'll always be my number two. Because God is number one. We're keeping him in the middle. We keep him in the middle, and everything else sort of balances out after that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love that. That is something, obviously, your faith is so strong that you're so confident to share that with others. And I do hope that everybody out there, even if it's a different religion that you believe in, I believe in the universe, believe in what the goodness of the world is sharing with you. It's just a matter of you believing in that higher power, whether it be a faith, whether it be, a different religion. But yes, your partner is second, and your children are third, just like what Vince was sharing earlier. And my last question was, is there a secret of being a dynamic duo? I think you guys already shared all that, but is there anything else that you can share with everyone that you feel like you left out?
Well, for me, I just want to go back to that last point that you made. It does matter what you believe in. It does matter that it's Jesus Christ that you believe in, it's God you believe in. So I'll leave it at that. For me, another advice that I probably would want to share, especially to the younger ones, is that you actually have to wait for that right person. And sometimes you get confused, right? Because you end up thinking that this person makes me feel this way, therefore I'm in love with him, he must be the right person. Or this person completes me. So when you actually, and this is a fault that I had before, when you actually think that this is the person who will complete you, us human beings, we are imperfect. We're always going to fail something. I guarantee you, I will fail my husband again, probably less now, less mistakes now. But a lot of people feel that they are completed with another person. But what actually would be a better perspective is that if you have Jesus to complete you, and you have a person who will journey with you and help you really accomplish who you're supposed to be, who God planned you to be. So that's how you're completed. It's not your husband who will complete you. It's not your husband who will make you a perfect person. It's actually Jesus Christ. So it's something that we learned the hard way, and we fell face forward. We've made so many mistakes in the past, but once we realized that, it wasn't instant, it wasn't magic, Mafae, because we still had to go through a lot of processing. But you come out gold after you go through fire, right? And we're sharing that as advice to all those younger people. And wow, if someone had shared that to us earlier, then the trajectory of our lives might be different, might even be better. Who knows? But I'm happy where we are, and I think that's also something that I'm really blessed with. Those battle scars that we're talking about, it's part of who we are. It's part of who we are as couples, and it's what makes us stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I agree totally with you. And I just add to it. I mean, they're flashing our Instagram and our Twitter on the bottom. If you guys want to contact us directly, maybe you're looking for someone to talk to or some direction on things that we've talked about. We're more than willing to help guide you to the right people. I mean, we know that right now things are just so different than before. I mean, there's so many challenges. I mean, aside obviously from like the financial, so many jobs are gone, so many businesses are really down the tubes. There's a lot of strains on relationships. A lot of people are having difficulties at home. Maybe because they don't have the priorities correctly. Maybe they're doing things just not the right way. If you give us a message, we'll try to point you to the right people who can help you get on the right path. And we just pray for all of you, and we hope that you have a great balanced life. Again, like my wife says, we are a million miles away from perfect. We screw up habitually. No, we try not to, but it's less and less. Yeah. So, but we're trying, and we believe that we found sort of the formula for success and happiness, and we're just going to keep doing it with not just us, but we're applying it to our kids. Now we have a baby girl, and we're going to apply it to her as well. You can see her down there.
Yeah, but also find people who also want the same thing for their lives. It's kind of difficult sometimes to journey with other couples who have their priorities on a different wavelength. So like-minded people who also seek, who want to lead this kind of life, because it's hard, Mafae? It's so hard to live a certain way when you want to live by certain principles. There's always something that will drag you from that. But if you have the right support, not just each other, because we're not just accountable to each other, but there are other couples that we connect with constantly, and we're now mentoring other couples as well. It's just so much better because because they give you sound advice, they connect you to the right source, and that's how we've survived. Honestly, that's how we have enriched our marriage.
Yeah.
So I'm just really happy, and I know that Mafae, you and Nick have that too.
Oh yeah, we've been there, and my team is amazing. Thank you guys for finding that, because this is just such a beautiful photo of the Hizons, of course, with Nick and I truly appreciate both of you for sharing the helping hand. So everyone who's tuned in, if you know that you might need someone to lean on or ask advice for your relationship, or know someone that would like, or that needs help, Patricia and Vince are here willingly to reach out to you guys too, and share, of course, their piece of knowledge and wisdom with what they've experienced on how to have a happy home, a happy marriage, and also, just a happy family. And, with that, I know that we were a little bit intense. So I do want to wrap up with a little activity, a little game with you guys, just to lighten things up. I got inspired. Do it, Vince. So we can really get to know who's who in this home. So I don't know if you guys have read the StrengthsFinder book. I got inspired by that book, but I tweaked it a little bit. So we're going to do like finding the strength. So who is stronger at what? So all you have to do is give me a thumbs up, and then later on, or now, I'm gonna share characteristics or personalities, and it's either point at yourself or point at your partner. Yes. Okay. So the first one is, who is more organized? All right. Next, who is stronger mentally?
Oh wow! Okay.
Good things, right? All good things come from her. That's what I say about our dog. All the good things came from Mama. So.
No, but being an athlete also, right? They have that skill to be strong mentally, and I've learned so much from it. So I give that to them.
Awesome. Okay, so who's stronger physically? Hey, we have babies, Patricia.
Sure.
You think our men can have babies?
Sorry. Give it back to
She
me.
fell out.
Okay. Who's more patient?
You too.
I have no patience.
All right, next. Who is more emotional? So when you're watching like a very emotional movie, who would cry? Okay, Patricia. All right, who wakes up first each day in the morning? Right.
Well,
And I think
Because she doesn't sleep all night. So
Yeah. I wake up because of the baby, but honestly, I go back to sleep and Vince takes care of the baby in the morning. So that's all.
I think you answered this earlier, but who is the chef of the house? That was quick. All right. The next one is, who's the stricter parent?
The what?
Stricter.
Yeah.
Bad cop. Okay, who is the singer of the house?
Just the two of us, okay? But really, our son Vicente is so talented. I don't know where he got it, but he's
Oh, yeah.
Brother.
a great singer.
Who is the dancer?
The dancer, you should see. Remember those days?
Hey, you guys. Thank you for joining my little activity, and thank you for sharing your amazing advice and sharing your beautiful story. And I wish you both many more years of love and happiness. May God bless your family, and of course, everything that you both set out to do. So I will give you the floor just before we say see you later to everyone tuned in. Any announcements, shout outs, or even exciting things that's happening for you both or together that you can invite everyone to.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for bringing us on here, Mafae. It's been an interesting way to spend our afternoon. Nostalgic about the past almost 30 years of hanging out. But just a lot of fun. Best wishes with your brother. As far as us, I mean, we're just doing our thing. Wife is busy with her businesses. I'm doing my own as well. We have a couple new businesses we started under COVID, actually. So we're actually doing okay. So we're having fun with that. Raising our daughter has been a tremendous blessing as well this last year. Just doing those types of things, plus some inspirational speaking, some motivational speaking. It's kept me pretty busy. So that's about it. Just, prayers for everybody to have a great rest of this 2021. Hopefully you'll all get the vaccine, and whichever vaccine is the best, I hope you get that one.
Yes, let's prepare for that.
For me, of course, I want to just acknowledge my team also at Plus Network. We've really been working hard to give you guys content as wonderful as the content that you and your team have been doing, Mafae. I think we all are doing the world a great service by providing all of this wonderful positive content that really enrich the lives of people. For me, it's Plus Network. If you guys have the chance, check out at My Plus Network on Facebook and on Instagram. And Plus Network will definitely be able to uplift you guys also with not just educational stuff, but education and entertainment. So it's been a great journey with Plus Network coming from TV5. This is really different because I'm really just focused on being able to uplift people and really change people's lives through your work. Like I said, similar to yours, and it's great, right? So yeah, aligned with that, I hope that people also find their place and their voices to do just the same. There's nothing more empowering than helping people become empowered and helping people become better. So for all of you individuals, please find that. I know there's something out there for you. And Mafae was talking about her passion that turned into something, more business and more business type and profitable. You guys can also have that. You can have the opportunity to turn your passions into your into profit. But for those who are now married, I'm speaking to you now. For all of you married couples, just continue to love each other. Even the difficult, even through the
Love
difficult
even
times.
the unlovables.
Yeah, love, especially the unlovables. But definitely, love is more than just a feeling. It's actually an action. It's a commitment to someone. It's actually sacrificing for someone. Love is loving someone that is imperfect and sacrificing for their own good so that they can accomplish what's there for them, what's pre-planned for them. So that's what love is. It's not a feeling. So if you're looking to really be in love with someone, think about how you can make their lives better. And that's been a great part of our relationship, helping to enrich each other. So I pray that you guys find that as well. God bless you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Hizon. I appreciate you guys. Love and miss. Hopefully, we can hang out and catch up again face to face. But I am really grateful for taking time out to be with me and everybody who's tuned in and being inspired by your story. And again, everyone who's listening or even watching, I recommend that you rewind this and rewatch it and re-listen to it because Vince and Patricia they have amazing words that they're sharing with you for this episode. So I thank you all. Salamat po, Facebook, and also our Kumu viewers. And tune in to the next episode of In Love With Me. And you know what to do. Actions speak louder than words. I'll see you later. Thank you.
Bye.